All right, guys, so today we're here at White Cat first thing. We're gonna go ahead and place an order for some materials we need delivered at a site on Monday for Worcester because we are getting the footer scraped on Tuesday. So come in with us, we're about to place that order, and then we got a few stops that we gotta go to. We gotta go all the way to St. Pete and back. So keep it with us. The logo on it. Look at these are carbon fiber. How are you, my man?
I told him, like, the ceiling's not gonna match the white oak.
Yeah.
So I was trying to explain that to him, like, in a sense, oh, well, I just want it to be the same finish, but you can have it the same finish on two different woods. It's never gonna look the same.
Yeah, no.
So what you wanted to go with, or is that a question for Nick?
Question for Nick. All right, guys, so we're back at Hibiscus again. This project here, as you guys saw it last time, looked nothing like this, so I wanted to showcase you guys the new frontage of it, now fully painted, ceiling done, the whole fencing on the outside, all the lights lit up. As you guys can see, all this front needs is just some landscaping, and we're pretty much done here. I wanted to show you some of the progress we've done in here. This kitchen has been another one of those nightmare kitchens that when the supplier messed up the order by bringing up lift gates, by the time we ordered it again, they said it would take 2 weeks. It's now taking 6. So they're finally here. We got the cabinet guys, they're going in there and they're working on putting that all together. And we also have the team here finishing some of the fencing and some of the touch up around it, but I'll just show you guys a quick tour so you can see the updates. One of the really nice things that they did here was we didn't just want this to be like any other fence gate, right? That would typically have a padlock, something unsecure. This whole area here now has a fingerprint scanner door to allow you to get in and out. So this is now your access to your front entryway, and you can go either straight out to your living room, or if you want to go in through the dining room area, you got that opportunity there. So there is some noise inside from all the construction work, but I'll try to show you guys a little bit of some of the progress that they're getting done. Before I head out there, you guys can see the ceiling details, what difference that makes. All throughout this whole carport area now, it looks like a little Zen garden, you know, somewhere enjoyable for them. We got all the appliances in here and all the cabinets that they're working on. As you guys see, I mentioned last time they're black, lower cabinets black, and they're actually black upper and lower cabinets here in the kitchen. And then you guys see some of those green panels in the back, those will be for the laundry area. We also have like a white oak bench that's coming in there, and a white oak hood that's going to be installed as well. Same carpenters are working and helping us with that. As you guys see, remember last time the doors weren't painted the right color, but now there's no more red doors, right? That was a problem because even though the client wanted black, he sent a paint code, and it was the wrong paint code, giving us a red color. So little do we know, we paid the doors red, and then everybody's questioning like, where did this come from, right? But we're good now. We repainted it. We got black doors in here. We got these nice hinges, which are walnut and brass. That's actually a splurge item that the client wanted. Each one of those hinges were over 250 bucks, so it was pretty crazy. But since these are small bedrooms, you don't want doors protruding inward and outward. So to maximize the space, this is what we were talking about doing, California closets. So rather than having some sliding doors that are very unuseful or bifolds that occupy space, you might as well just do some built-ins in here, and it should suffice, and you putting all your clothes and hardware in there, you know? You got drawers, you got a lot of stuff. Oop. We're gonna be putting a step, leveling this ground, and kind of getting all this, you know, essentially to clean it up. So we're gonna be putting some nice pea gravel here, making a walkway. That way it's enjoyable for, you know, somebody to come out here, step out, sit outside. Changing the AC. This actually got flooded during the hurricane, and as you guys can see, there goes the AC panel. That's where it's supposed to be sitting at. But we're gonna be clearing out the rest of these trees and the rest of this fence, install this new fence here. And that's pretty much a wrap for what we gotta do. Just a glass door in the bathroom, and getting countertops in, but this house is up to a rep. This house was built on popsicle sticks, got flooded twice, and it was honestly, it looks like a tremendous turnaround up to the level finish that this property came. This has all level 5 finish, you know, nice 5-inch standard baseboard, you know, actual real wood, not MDF, and then just crazy finishes throughout. All right, so we don't want to give away too much because this house is almost done. So let's hop in the car and let's stop at another project that we got to go visit today. And now we're here at another one of our monster projects, and I call them monsters because they just come with all sorts of stories. But remember the dilapidated property? It's actually been stopped now for like about 3 weeks as we were getting structural engineers and structural contractors to give us quotes on replacing some of these beams underneath. But I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but the roof line on this property dips about a foot all the way towards the back because the beam and all the under foundation, you know, structural members are sagging, right? So before we continue and been able to do anything else, like put the siding or put the plywood or essentially drywall inside, basically anything, since we have to jack the house up to level it and install new beams, we essentially have to wait till all that's done, otherwise it's gonna crack. So as you guys can see here, we've already brought in the material, and the guys have been supposed to be starting the last couple days, but unfortunately the weather here in Florida has been like ridiculous. And they basically got to go and crawl underneath this house through this hole here. And as you guys can see, all these members there that are rotting out, this is what they're gonna have to go inside and from underneath jack up the house to level it out and replace with new strength members and pretty much reinforce any of the concrete columns, basically everything they got to do to just stabilize this house. Once they do that, everything should go up. As you guys can see, one of the last things that we did here was before we got to that big problem, we had the whole, when you're replacing the windows, everything else was rotted out. So pretty much the whole, I would say this is the left side of the property, has been all new framed and replaced and sistered everywhere it needs so that it has extra supports. This has been quite a project. We moved the gas lines, we put an electric or gas water heater on the exterior here, but we got a lot cooking. And I want to show you guys how it looks after some of the siding pieces got replaced and the new roof got installed. So after this new roof got installed, we're seeing this whole sagging part in the back, and that's why it's, you know, it's eminent for us to jack it up. Plus this house is going to be for sale. One of the first things somebody's going to notice is a big dip in the property. We've had this happen to properties in Kentucky as well when we were there. The house was pretty much done, and then the slope was just so steep that at the end of it, we had to jack up the house after it was fixed, and everything cracked. So we had to fix it, you know? But as you guys can see here, we've demoed the shed that was in the back. There was a tree that fell over during the hurricane, knocked down some of that fence, some of that house, but this property brought all sorts of issues. We're gonna get all this cleared out. We're gonna do a nice, basically roundabout driveway here, since it's a narrow stretch in the front, and we're gonna pave this whole area. And he's talking about maybe putting a pool, but I feel like that's ambitious. I don't know if it'll fit here with what we got. Let's take you guys inside so you guys can see some of the stuff that they've done already. So the doors and windows are in. We also raised this ceiling and made it a vaulted ceiling. So now it's gonna tie in a whole lot more better with this window here, this whole craftsman style, you know, half moon window. But we basically had to sister joist a lot of these beams as well and raise the ceiling. Now we gotta basically tap all those nails that are there before we put in any drywall, but all this got cleaned out. We still got some levels here that we gotta work with, but you guys can see how open it is in the back since all of that got basically reframed. And just to summarize what I got left here, this structure, the bathroom got reframed from the last time that we were here. Now we can come in through some pocket doors and you're greeted with the center shower, your center window, nice big ample. You're gonna have your vanity set on this side and your toilet set on this side. So is this not a lot better than the last time we were here and this wasn't making sense, you know? I had the buffering emoji on there and just trying to figure that out. But Yeah, all this got reframed. We restructured the closets. Doors and windows are in, but everything came to a halt because of having to jack up this property. So we're gonna work on that on Monday, but that basically summarizes what we did here on this property, and we'll keep you guys more updated as we, move through the steps. But we're gonna head back now. We got a long way before we get to Tampa, and we got this crazy traffic. Good thing is that we got an autopilot, so let's ride. All right, guys, so it's a wrap for today's video. We're back here at the office. We purchased some materials for the foundation that's gonna get started next week at Worcester. We also have the foundation that's getting jacked up down there in 24th Street. And you saw all the progress that we have at Hibiscus. So stay tuned for the next one, and we'll see you guys here next Monday. Peace. Oh, I forgot. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. But see you guys in the next one. Peace.